Today we are going to continue talking about kindness, but I also want to tell you about my week this week. Holy cow, has it been a crazy week. Absolutely nothing got done just for the fact that our AC went out on Tuesday. And I'm pretty sure I'm recording this on Tuesday. This is all I got to record this week. And I had a whole bunch of plans. I was going to make potato chips and try that for the first time, and a couple of other things for the first time, but with the heat and with the AC being out, because I am in the South, the house was at 81 degrees with the windows open. It was cooler outside than it was inside, and I think it's just for the fact that our house is brick, so it retains heat, and there are no trees around our house. So our house is in direct sunlight all day long, and wow, were we miserable. We were absolutely miserable this week. My husband comes home from working in the shop all day with his broken leg, which, guys, it's healing. He's got movement in it. We go back for another x-ray at the end of the month, but he comes home and he's like just sticky and sweaty, and of course all the kids want to climb on top of him, and they're all sticky and sweaty, and I'm sticky and sweaty. It was not fun. So needless to say, none of the household, goodness, I'm recording this late because it's been so crazy. I haven't been able to actually record or do a voiceover. So what was I saying? Household chores done. That's what I was saying. I didn't get any of the household chores done. So this week we're actually taking a break from school. I've already decided we're going to take a break from school and catch up on everything. It was a struggle to even get them to do school during the week, just because everybody was so uncomfortable. And because we have one of my twins' therapies actually come to our house, we unfortunately couldn't really go anywhere, which sort of sucked. And I will never take our AC unit for granted ever again. My thing is we had a cold week like 3 weeks ago. Where did that go? Where did all the cold weather go? I'm ready for it to feel like fall. It still feels like summer outside. Like, yeah, it might be the fall season, but it is in the high 80s and it still feels like summer outside. So hopefully we'll get some fall weather here soon. Anyways, that's how my week has gone. That's basically the gist of it, because like I said, nothing else got done. But if you were here last week and you watched my video from last week, I was talking about this lady at church that was very, very rude to me. I was surprised about how she talked to me. I have the full story on my last week's video if you want to go watch it and see what happened. But at the end of that video, I said that I might make her a loaf of bread. And that's what I did. I made her a sourdough loaf, which, by the way, guys, I have exciting news. Sidetrack a little bit. I won first place in my fair baking competition, the Coastal Carolina Fair baking competition. I won first place for both my sourdough bread and my sourdough cinnamon rolls, which I was not expecting to win. I was so excited when she handed me those blue ribbons. I was like, oh my God, I literally just started baking. Like, this is amazing. And everybody that has bought my bread has said that they absolutely love it. I have one lady that is always coming back for my cinnamon rolls, and she says she loves them. My husband says they're better than cinnamon rolls. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Anyways, so I had to sidetrack a little bit because I am just so proud of myself. Like, I was not expecting that. And it made me feel so good. Anyways, back to Sunday. So I did make this lady a bread. And originally, we were going to sit up at the front of the church. We weren't going to sit behind her anymore. Just because my kids really bugged her. So I was going to try to be respectful of her and actually sit at the front of the church where the preacher said that I should just sit. And we got there too late, unfortunately. So I did have to sit behind her again. Now, when we first walked in, I did get a look from her like, oh my God, you're here. Like, I did get a look from her. I got, that sort of vibe, like, ugh, you're here sort of deal. But I didn't say anything. I took the kids and took them to the children's daycare or whatever, because we were having a good morning. So I was like, okay, well, let me see if they will stay in the daycare. And they actually did. They did really good. This is something that we're trying to work on with separation from me and the littles, because I am a stay-at-home mom. I'm around them all the time. And the only other people that are around them are my siblings and my mother. And of course, their dad. And so they're not really acquainted to different people watching them. So, but they did good. And during the little children's church, they have children's church where my older two will go up to the front and they'll get like a little mini sermon themselves and things like that. And while they were doing that and they collected communion for children's church, I tapped her on the shoulder. And first I did apologize, because I am sorry that my kids are very distracting, and but they are kids. They're 2 and 1, and there's only so much I can do. And there's a reason I sit in the back, and it's because if I have to leave, I'm not disrupting the whole church, So I tapped her on her shoulder and apologized. I said, I'm really sorry that, my kids are distracting you. And I explained to her about Sam and how he has a hard time with new people. I mean, realistically, both of them, all 3 littles do. But Sam is sort of more difficult because of the autistic tendencies that he has. And so I explained to her that he is potentially autistic, and he has a really hard time going back there and being separated from me. And she sort of looked like she understood. And I was like, so my kids and I baked you some bread. And her face, guys, if you could just see her face went from really hard to really soft. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like her facial expression was like, oh my God, like you're being nice to me, sort of facial expression. And then she proceeded to apologize. She told me that she was very sorry for what she said, and that she shouldn't have said anything at all. And her apologizing it made me feel really good. It really made me feel good that she accepted my bread, because in my head, I had visions of her throwing it back at me, like making a really nasty face towards me, and things like that, because of how mean she was. And I wasn't expecting her to accept my bread, and she did. And it felt so good. And she is one of the people that doesn't really have any family in the church community. And when the preacher had called me to ask about the situation and everything like that, she said that she was, just she was lonely and she had no children, and so she didn't understand what it was like having children. And I really felt led to make her some bread and show her some kindness, because maybe that's all she needed. Maybe she was having a hard week that week. Maybe she was having a really bad day and she took it out on me. And even though it wasn't right, we all have those days. We all have those days where we just take it out on a stranger sometimes because we're just mad at the world. And I don't know what she was going through. And you know, when I gave her the bread, I felt so good. It made me feel good, and it looked, by her facial expression, it made her feel good. And so after church, she got up and actually came to me and, you know, was holding my shoulders, and she was like, I really hope I did not hurt your feelings. And of course I was honest with her. I told her that she did hurt my feelings a lot. And she said that she was sorry. And she said that she hoped my little boy was doing okay back there. And I explained to her, I was like, yeah, he's probably fine because, you know, the nursery volunteer knows his situation and knows where to find me if something does happen and she needs to come bring him back out to me. She's done it a couple of times. And so she was very forgiving. She genuinely looked like she felt bad, and she introduced her name to me, and of course I introduced, you know, myself, and we gave each other a hug. And this just felt so good. Being kind to somebody that was rude to me just felt so good. It really did. And I really hope that my kindness goes a long way, and it made her day better. It made her week better. I'm hoping when we go back on Sunday that maybe we can strike up a conversation and grow a relationship. And it's not hard to be kind. Granted, I stepped outside of my comfort zone. I don't really like talking to people. I really don't like talking to strangers. I'm a very nervous person. Until you get to know me, then I'm more outgoing. But like when you first meet me, I am very nervous. I'm very awkward. I stumble over my words because I don't know what I'm going to say and don't know what to say. So this really put me outside of my comfort zone, but it felt so good being nice to somebody. And, you know, it goes a long way. I'm hoping that I made her week good. I'm hoping that if she was having a bad morning that morning, that I solidified everything that went wrong that morning. And just, guys, it's really not hard to be kind and to be nice to somebody. And kindness, like I said, it goes a long way. It could change someone's whole mood. If they're having a bad morning and you do something kind for them, it might change their whole day. It really could. But anyways, that wraps up for this video. I am so sorry this is a little bit of a short video. I'm hoping to have a decluttering video next week. That was one of the things I had planned for this week, but didn't get done because of the AC situation. So I'm planning on finally getting to my closet and cleaning it out, because I want to end this year on a good note and ending my year of decluttering in December of 2024. And then I want to start on a New Year's resolution, which would be getting my body back in shape, having 5 kids back to back to back to back to back, especially with the twins. If you have twins, you know how much it changes your body. I would like to get back to somewhat what I was looking like now that I'm officially done. But we all know that's not going to really happen. This is my new body, but I would like to get it shaped and toned and feel comfortable in my own skin. And guys, that is it. I will see you back next week. I hope you guys have a really great week and do something kind for somebody, even if it's outside of your comfort zone.